This video contains explicit content. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, this is your last chance. This is going to get really fucking offensive.
What's going on? Glad to see you. I'm here to tell you some stories.
Square, the people have a voice too.
I think it's awful. I don't think we need them in town.
Let me tell you something. Ass, that, for me, that's a food of love thing. You know what I mean? I love ass. Titties, but the ass. My whole life, I've dated strippers. I've dated, you name it, wacky girls. You know, Latin is my favorite flavor. But I dated a girl. I met this girl in a club in New York City, and believe it or not, she was this. Her real name, I forgot what it was. I think it was Doreen or something. But she is Goth. So she actually had her name changed to Raven. Now, you had to see this girl. Something about Goth girls that just fucking drive me crazy. And she just, I'm not talking about some girl that just wore a little bit of black makeup. And she lived a Goth lifestyle. She looked Goth. I mean, she had that hair, the whole bit. She was Goth. And ironically, she actually rented this loft from Bette Midler, by the way. Bette Midler, okay, owned this loft. So we go back to the loft, and I walk into this fucking house, and it was like, I don't know, like Satan's den. You know, she had a noose hanging from a fucking beam. So I get in this loft, and she starts lighting candles and trying to make it romantic with me, you know. And I hear noises, and I can see movement. It's dark, you know. And next thing I know, I see a black cat come by. And I'm thinking, oh fuck, my night's fucked. You know what I mean? A black cat. And she says, oh, that's Manson. And I'm like, oh, okay. Manson, Charles Manson. I got it. Black, you know, black cat. Evil. Next thing you know, I up where the noose is, I see a movement. And this thing comes at me out of fucking nowhere. And it's a white bird. Big fucking bird. And I go, what the fuck is that? You got a bird living in your house? Big bird. That's Chicky. So I said, okay. Chicky, Manson, you know, all right. And then I look over, and in a cage, she has this big, giant tarantula spider. I don't remember the tarantula's name. I really don't. It was Mr. something, but whatever it was the tarantula, you know, was in his cage. And she would let it out, and it would walk around in her drawers. And it was you know, because we had dated a few times, so, you know, so like this is the first time I'm talking about. So now I get to, you know, I get acclimated there, and, you know, I'm kind of used to it, but I'm never comfortable, because the fucking bird creeps me out, all right? The bird, I'd be sitting there out of nowhere, the fucking thing would swoop down at me and shit, you know? And I'd be like, yo, it's fucking bird, man. You know? And as it is, I'm allergic to cats, so I don't like the fucking cat touching me. But anyway, this girl was a piece of ass, and I'm like, I don't know, I just got a weakness for Goth chicks, so, you know, we'd fuck and this, that. So I started sleeping over the house. So I'm laying on her bed after a nice little piece of ass and everything. I'm laying on her bed, and I'm just kind of like chilling, and I kind of falling asleep, and I had my arm out like this. And next thing I know, I felt a tickle, and then a burn. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I look, and I see the spider on me, right? So I get really pissed off. I fucking crush the spider and fucking kill it. She comes running out, and she hears me screaming, because now I know it must have bit me, because it's fucking burning and itching and all this shit. And she goes to me, what's happened? What's the matter? And I said, you know, the fucking spider bit me, you know, and I killed it. I'm sorry, it's your pet. And she goes, well, that's not my pet. She goes, that's my friend's pet. And I said, that's, you know, I'm thinking it's the tarantula. I killed your fucking, that's not tarantula. She goes, that's a, what do you call it? A brown recluse spider. And I go, what? She goes, yeah. Oh, she goes, they're really poisonous. She goes, it bit you? And I go, yeah, it bit me. And she goes, oh fuck, you know what I mean? And I go, and then she goes, wait a minute. And she goes, how the fuck did he get on the thing? She goes, that's little Nicky. And I said, well, little Nicky's now dead, Nicky. You know what I mean? You fucked me. Oh, this is fucked up. Son of a bitch. Then she goes to me. Now, the night before we had sleeping, we heard like a noise crash, And what it was the fucking cat must have knocked over a cage, this cage. And it had other spiders in it, 2 other spiders. And I'm going, wait a minute, because she goes, if that's little Nicky, she goes, I don't know where the others were. You understand, he wasn't alone. There was 3 spiders in that cage. That you just killed little Nicky. She goes, there's 2 other spiders. And I'm going, well, where are they? I mean, I don't want to get fucking bit. So now me and her went on this fucking hunt for these 2 spiders. And we're looking all over the fucking place. And I mean, I'm opening up shit, finding all kinds of fucking wacky shit from bizarre. She was into like really bizarre stuff, from voodoo looking shit to, I don't even know what that stuff was, in Spanish, they brujeria, But anyway, so we're looking around and then she comes out with a butterfly net. And I'm like, well, what are you doing with a butterfly net? I mean, like, let's just kill these fucking things. Oh, no, we can't kill them. We got to catch them. And I'm like, if I see the fucking thing, I'm killing it. I'm not catching nothing. I'm not catching these, because they aren't her spiders. She was spider sitting. Who the fucking babysits spiders? Poisonous spiders. Anyway, so she goes, and we're checking around the house, and she finds the other spider. She catches it, right? She puts it back in his cage. She found it in her closet or drawer, some shit. So now I'm sitting back and I'm going, that means there's another spider in this fucking house. And I don't want to be in here. I don't want that fucking thing, to get me. And they're fucking big, man. They're like this big. If you saw, I mean, they're huge. With their legs and all that shit. They're like, it was the size of fucking tarantula. And I'm going, and now I'm getting fucking creeped out, and I'm looking around. And she's, running around the house, and now it's later on, it's much later. And I'm just sitting and I'm relaxed and I'm laying there like this, And that fucking cat comes over and I'm like fucking, get the and I'm laying back and I'm looking, and up above me is that noose. And now I see the noose is moving. And I'm going, what the fuck? I'm thinking like Satan's in here. And I'm like, I'm right below it. So I reach out and I grab the light, it's flashlight. And I shine it like this on it. And there's this fucking giant spider on the fucking noose. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm looking, and while I got the light on it, I guess I illuminated it, and next thing you know, I hear this noise. And this big fucking swoop out of nowhere comes that fucking bird. And it grabs that spider and kills it. And it's like, it eats it. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, I fucking love that bird. That's my fucking bird, because I fucking hate spiders. Anyway, she comes out and she's like, I'm like, yeah! I'm all like stoked and shit. She comes out and she's like, what happened? What happened? I said, I found that spider. And she goes, you did? Where is it? I got to give it to my friend. And I said, little Chickie ate it, because that's the name of the fucking bird. I said, Chickie ate your fucking spider. Let me tell you something, okay? Now you may say, yeah, that's a cool story, dude. What the fuck's that got to do with what? Dude, they took me to the hospital. And do you know that I had to have surgery and everything? They actually cut there. They had to try to take the venom out. They put me on all kinds of meds. I almost died. I was in the hospital for over a week. And I actually felt myself dying. And what saved me, believe it or not, was Dr. Carlin Coker. Because he's my friend. And he called me up and he said, dude, what medicines are they giving you? And I told them the medicines. I don't remember them now, but I know Levaquin was one of them. And but they had some venom medicines for black recluse spider. And he goes to me, that's the wrong they're giving you the wrong fucking medicines. Levaquin ain't gonna do shit for a fucking spider bite. So he got me out of it and put me in Greenwich Community Hospital. And they put me on this intensive medicine. Dude, and I was like in ICU. It almost killed me because I wanted a piece of Gothic ass. And I'm in a house with some fucking nut who's babysitting spiders. How's that for a fucking story?
Was it worth it?
Dude, she was fucking dude, her ass. Let me tell you something. Ass. That, for me, that's a food of love thing. You know what I mean? I love ass. Titties, but the ass. Yeah, it was worth it. I gotta tell you, it was worth it. I'm sorry.
Kai Green The Return, available now on video on demand.
Tune into Generation Iron Podcast with Kai Green every Wednesday.
And then with the ka, it just turns beast. Like, mode. It turns crop.
As any great bodybuilder and a perfectionist, Kai is always looking to improve and adjust to bring something different.